Governor, North Dakota has tremendous energy resources, and you reportedly are helping the Trump campaign craft energy policy. That's accurate?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying that I'm volunteering to support President Trump during this campaign because it's an energy-rich state full of natural resources. And I've had the honor of being a governor under President Trump and also under President Biden. And I see the difference between the two administrations. And I've got a front row seat in understanding that the Biden energy policies are, hard on the American consumers. They're empowering adversaries overseas, and they're really tough on our allies.
There is more oil being produced in this country now than any country ever. 13 million barrels per day last year.
Yeah, and North Dakota's down and Iran is up under these policies. And the policies are built around the idea that somehow if you shut down the U.S. energy industry, that's going to be good for the environment. But when we stop production here, because it may be higher than it has been before by a little bit, but it should be much higher because we should be displacing energy coming from Venezuela,
well, let me ask you about that.
Coming from Russia. The people that are funding the wars that we're fighting are doing that on their oil sales.
Let me ask you that. According to the Washington Post in their reporting, Donald Trump met with oil executives and said if they raise $1 billion to return him to the White House, he'll reduce regulation if elected, start auctioning off leases for drilling.
I was at that meeting. That did not happen. That is not what happened at that meeting. And that's been reported over and over and over again.
Did he ask for $1 billion in donations?
He didn't ask for $1 billion in donations, and there was no quid pro quo. I mean, think what he did last time for the energy. This guy cut regulation for everybody, whether they donated to him or not. He helped get gas prices down for all Americans, Republicans, independents, and Democrats, whether they donated to him or not.
Well,
drives me crazy.
The economy was also shut down.
People went on. People went on hearsay that weren't at the meeting on
too.
Hearsay, report it like it's a fact when it's not a fact.
Well, I'm asking you to make sure. The Washington Post also reported that Trump suggested to those oil executives he would ease scrutiny of industry mergers and acquisitions if he wins. Do you think that the industry needs to consolidate and big oil needs to get bigger?
I think that the free enterprise needs to operate in ways that are efficiently to be able to compete on a global level. And what's going on in the industry.
So he would do that.
I'm not saying he would do that, but I tell you what Joe Biden's administration is doing right now. Two companies want to merge, and then they come in, and then they confiscate all the executives' phone numbers ahead of time, make accusations about collusions. This has never happened to another industry.
So what was promised in that meeting, since you said you were there?
He didn't make promises. He listened. He went around the room for 2 hours asking each of the people to tell me, what are your challenges? What are you facing? What are the things? He was there learning the whole night about the challenges that we're facing.
So is he targeting the industry to finance his reelection bid?
I think anybody he'll be meeting with people in Silicon Valley. He's meeting people across every industry. He's not targeting anybody. He's doing what candidates do, which is you go and listen to an industry, and this industry in particular, which is the fundamental to the entire economy. It's not just one industry. It feeds the inflation, which is affecting every American, to say, what can we do to produce cleaner energy more efficiently? President Trump talks all the time about getting oil prices down. Oil executives are not thrilled when he says, I'm going to get oil prices down. They make more money when oil prices are up.
Okay, so climate and environmental policy are important to young voters in particular. Are you at all concerned that you will alienate them by aligning so closely with the energy industry?
Well, I'm not concerned about it at all because I know in North Dakota we are producing energy cleaner, safer, and smarter than any place else in the world here in the United States.
So you do want to keep some of the environmental restrictions then?
The environmental restrictions are hurting this country. They're not helping it. Innovation, people that think that you're going to solve the environmental issues with regulations, the way we solve that is with innovation. And the way we solve it with innovation is we innovate to have zero carbon liquid fuels or low carbon liquid fuels. The Biden administration is on Team China. They want to have every car be an EV, and then we got to get China controls 85% of the rare earth minerals.
Tariff them that. But would talk to you for an hour about rare earth minerals, sir. We'll have to have you come back another time to talk about that global competition. But we're going to have to leave it there and turn to